Before we get going, I want you to know today, voting day, is the last day for you to sign up for that butchery video instructional course that us and Jason from Sow the Land have. If you want to get in on the Q&A that we're going to have. Also, Grindstone Ministries is needing your help in a bad kind of way right there in southeastern Oklahoma. They got blasted by a tornado and they're not getting any help from the U.S. government. So keep them in your prayers and also donate and volunteer if you can.
This is Perma Pastures Farm in action.
Hey y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Before we get hot on this, want to remind you that Grindstone Ministries is needing help. They're helping those folks down in Oklahoma that everybody forgot about. So if you can donate, that would be wonderful. All right, y'all. So this is our 18-day compost using the Berkeley method. Now, if you're new here, we had been using the chicken tractor on steroids. The method developed by the genius Jeff Lawton. That's what we were using up to now, but we had chickens in that system and they were making our compost. Well, we came to the end of it and we made this 18-day pile that you see right here. Now, just kind of get a look of it. Hey, watch out, milk. Why? Okay, well, it's kind of cockeyed as you can see right here. It's kind of laying over, and thank God it didn't go all the way over. But that's fine because we're at the point that it's day 4 in the whole process, and we're at the point where we're going to flip this. Now, in this 18-day method, we set everything up, we put the water in, go back, watch the previous video, and you can find out how we did that. Or better still, we got an entire playlist on how to do this. But at the end of every cycle, when we run that chicken tractor on steroids for our meat birds, this is how we finish it up. We usually do this, and so we're going to do it again. And the beauty about this is that with all those chicken guts, feathers, feet, and all that kind of stuff, the other stuff is fantastic compost. Better than anything you can hope to buy. But I guarantee you, this stuff will be turbocharged and on another planet. Now, we also put all the water in on the front end. We put everything we're going to need on this front end. So unlike those previous piles, this one here won't require any more water if we did everything right. All right, so here it is. It's that day that everybody's going to go out and vote. And then as soon as I'm done flipping this, I'll go to town, go do my part. And I'll just put it this way. Regardless of how anything turns out, I don't believe in this system here. In fact, this shirt kind of says it all. In fact, I didn't even plan wearing this. I just snatched it out of the closet. And William, by strange coincidence, actually has the same shirt on as well. We did not plan that. But I think it says it all. So that being said, this is why we do this stuff. Because I'm not counting on these people out here. I have no faith in these polecats that are running for office. Many of them just straight up lunatics anyway. I mean, this is why we do this stuff. This is why we build partnerships with people around us. This is why we build our own communities and we don't rely on government to do anything for us. So this is why we do all this stuff, all right? This is why also where we teach people how to process their own chickens, how to process their own pigs, how to do all these things. And hopefully when I get a few things squared away, I'll show you how to do a cow. With any luck, I'll show you how to process a bear. I already have a deer processing video, and you can find that in there as well. So, yeah, forget about these polecats that are running for office. Figure out how to make your own communities. Figure out how to make your own trading systems. Figure out how to make your own compost. All right? So with that said, here's what I'm going to do. We'll take the tarp off of this, and I probably ought to do this from the uphill side. Let me go ahead and do that. Well, how about that? All right, there you have it. Looks like something straight out of a Dr. Seuss book. So here's what's going to happen, y'all. Boy, what are you doing? You're being a little nuisance. Anyway, we got the break in this cage right here. We'll go ahead and take this apart. And worst case scenario, you could cut it apart, but I want to reuse this. We've done it every time. So if it's a little mangled at the bottom, I really don't care because I can just straighten it out. Here's what we're going to do. Take this apart. It's probably going to all fall apart. And we're going to turn this thing uphill in this particular case. Because what you don't see is that it's kind of a rough territory here. We could go ahead. We're just basically going to take it at this point, turn it uphill, And then after that, we'll turn it back here. It's basically going to be a back and forth kind of thing. Now this here was nothing but welded wire. Usually comes out pretty easy.
Woven wire.
Woven wire, that's right. So it usually comes apart. Worst case scenario, if I got to cut it, no big deal. This was scrap wire to begin with. So it's recycle, reuse, all those things, you know? And then the best thing about this kind of pile is that all these leaves, I didn't have to get them out of my woods. I'm not taking somebody else's fertility. There was a pretty awesome viewer that sent me an email of all the stuff he acquired in terms of leaves from his neighbors. And I gotta say, that made my day. Your first flip on a compost pile is always going to be your most difficult. If it's going to be agonizing, this is the point where it's going to happen. And like I said in that last one, if you take anything stringy and you put it in there like vines and whatnot, if you don't chop them up, I guarantee you're going to be using some nasty words. I guarantee it. But here's why it's more difficult, because everything isn't quite, well, it ain't going to be so bad here. We're going to take it, add air in it. It already has all the moisture it needs. Okay, we added it on the front end. And as I take it out, I'm going to shake it out. Get some air in there, okay? And I'm going to make it easy on myself and bring it as close to my pile. I'm not going to make a pile plumb over here. I want to try to get it close so it makes life easy, ergonomic, and the whole 9 yards. So we're just going to take the outside, stick it on the inside, and take the inside and put it on the outside. So just don't get discouraged if you do this. Your first flip is always going to be the toughest because everything's kind of compacted. It's in there. You got different layers. It's always going to be tough, but it gets easier with every subsequent flip. And where you can still kind of see everything right now, it's more of a homogeneous mix. I don't know what this, oh, some of that doggone plastic netting in here. I'll get that out. All of your impurities like plastic and everything kind of, they make themselves known as the process unfolds. What we're going to do at this point, wow, man, that just makes me so happy. You get this, you can't see, some things are not identifiable anymore. You see very few of the feathers we threw in there. The feet, I only saw one. It's already breaking down. You can feel the heat and everything. But at this point, to maintain this heat in this kind of pile, you're going to do something a little bit different. At the bottom of it, you're going to do something of a Mexican hat dance. You could use a hard rake. You want to kick these sides in. Like William stated a minute ago, we want that heat going up to the middle of that pile. So we're going to go all the way around this thing, kick it in. And man, I just love doing this because I know the compost this is going to produce is going to be light years better than everything. And it's going to be turbocharged, y'all. Be honest with you, I'm as happy as Dick Cheney and Hillary Clinton at an Adrenochrome party. So it's time to go ahead and kick this stuff in. You know, it's pretty awesome when, I'm not saying not be concerned about the things going on in this world, but you feel like you're less subject to it when you know how to skin a buck and run a trot line, you know what I'm saying? And then knowing how to make your compost, knowing how to make your food, knowing how to take perennial systems and constantly eat from them forever and a day, knowing how to process your own animals, knowing where to get the feed for them that isn't from a feed store, knowing how to integrate all these things together where you can take this bomb compost, put it around your trees, have those trees shade your chickens that are over there, have those chickens give you eggs and meat, and have this whole thing work as one giant system that each end of it feeds on itself, okay? This is the kind of stuff, these are the things that we've lost. This is a dying art, but I see it coming back. I see it coming back. And the only way to keep it going is if we go out there, work with one another, learn these tasks, teach one another, forward up if you have to work on tasks like this. Let's say you're infirmed or you're on in years and you can't do this. Enlist some help. Give them your knowledge in exchange for their muscle. There's so many different ways we can go about this, and none of it involves going to a ballot box. So it's really what I'm wanting to convey today. So folks, if you didn't catch the beginning of it, like I said, Grindstone Ministries, they need your help right now. Whole lot of people down there in Idabel and around those areas that got blasted by that tornado. And they're needing all the help you can. So if you can, we'll leave that down below if you can donate anything. If you need anything from us, we got new rice knives in, we got plenty of comfrey, and which is something I forgot to put back in this pile. We typically put comfrey in there, but it doesn't really need it right now. It's got plenty of heat. You need bone sauce. It's that time of year where the leaves are coming off. You can put that stuff everywhere. We got that too. But remember, y'all, at the end of the day, we have got to be learning these skills. This is a dying art. Let's bring it back. All right, till next time, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion. We'll see you next time.